That's Robin Hayes there, the CEO of JetBlue. You can see we're joined by a familiar face. Cornelia Meyer, economist, is with us in the studio. Lovely to see you, Cornelia. So, a massive day, isn't it, in the sense that a US president is in Cuba now, in Havana, doing speeches, touring around. It's quite incredible, really, isn't it?
It hasn't happened for 88 years when President Coolidge went. So it's quite unprecedented. But what's really important here is, as you mentioned, the business story. Because not unlike Iran, there's a lot of pent-up demand. You know, there were sanctions. So Starwood, given that there's a lot of tourism interest, the Starwood deal is very important. The airlines for tourism is important. But mind you, if you look at it, the Cubans drive around in these very old American cars. Think of what it means for US cars, especially for the smaller cars that, you know, can go in, also for the Volkswagens of this world, because once the US lifts sanctions, everybody else follows. Also think of what it means for the financial industry, because they've been cut off of the real payment system like Iran has. So coming back onto the visa system, onto the credit card systems is very important. And you see actually Silicon Valley firms going in there already saying, let us help you with technology to set up bank accounts in the US.
But like
facilitation.
Very similar to Iran, though, the embargo's not fully lifted.
Yeah.
There's actually a long way to go. US Congress has to pass the whole process, and that in itself is not an easy road, is it, given the fact that we've got elections, it's an election year, we're in an electioneering process right now. So when will that take place? Will it be before or after November, do we know? To
be realistic, it may be after November, because right now the Democrats don't have a majority in either house, so it's not going to be that easy. And you know, you have a lot of the Republicans are financed by quite right. We have very strong ties to Florida, which has a lot of quite right-wing Cuban exiles. So which way of this deal they will come out on will be very important to see.
Okay, so we might see a situation in which the US Congress might decide on this after we have the presidential elections. Whoever is the next US president might not actually want to do this, depending on, because they all have completely different stances on Cuba. But even, let's say this does get passed, even if we see a president that is you know, pro-Cuba, even if this does get passed by Congress, do you think that the Cubans themselves are ready to seize this opportunity? It's clear that the outside world is looking to invest, but are they going to be taken advantage of? Oh,
they're going to be absolutely taking advantage of it. As you said, quite a lot of them are, you know, privately employed, and the GDP is quite stagnant. It's $68 billion. You have a good population pyramid where the majority of the people are somewhere between 15 and 65. So you have a lot of people who need to earn a living and who would like to earn a better living, and you know, economic needs always will help tendencies like more business.
Cornelia, it's been great to have you on the show. Thank you for your input there, and of course this is a story